She's coming from NFCDCU. We also have Michael Schwartz from Signature Bank. We have May Grote-Watson from the Financial Clinic. We have Kathy Mann from the Office of Financial Empowerment and the Department of Consumer Affairs. And then we have Pamela Owens from the Pamela Owens is from the National Federation of Community Development.
Way too long.
Okay, so I'll just
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Some energy going in here. We're talking about financial education. This needs to be fun because one of the main points and lessons from the financial education is to make it not just technical and correct and informative, but make it fun, or what will happen? People will leave. They will not come back to session 2. And I'm going to take that same approach tonight. But first, let me just tell you who I am. I'm the Associate Director. I'm Deyanira Del Rey. I'm the Associate Director of NFCDCU, which is also a very long name. There's a trend in the nonprofit sector here.
The longer the name, the more funding.
That's right.
Yeah, if only that were true. We are a resource center for community groups in New York City that are working on economic justice issues in their communities. And we ourselves do a lot of financial education. We call it financial education and financial justice training. We also have lots of different programs. We have a legal project that helps people one-on-one, that once they've gone through financial education courses, they identify a problem they have and they need assistance. We lead coalitions that are working to promote fair lending, to fight foreclosures, promote immigrants' rights in the banking system. We do a lot of different types of work, working with groups throughout the city. And I'm really excited to be here because I've worked with a lot of people in the room. The panelists are all fantastic and have very different kind of approaches to doing financial education, and I think we're all going to learn a lot here. Before we launch in, I just want to ask how many people, I don't think we have time to do like full-fledged introductions, but can I just get a sense of who's in the room? How many people here have done financial education of some sort in their own work? And how many people here have done it in a group setting, classes, and one-on-one? Counseling? Okay. Okay, so we'll stop there. But so this is good. So everyone is kind of familiar, most people seem to be familiar with the term financial education and what it means. One of the things that I'm tasked with doing is just framing what are we talking about, because the term financial education, sometimes people say financial literacy, although I've seen that's in the decline, which I think might be good, because it suggests you're illiterate somehow if you don't have a lot of financial training. But the term financial education gets used a lot. But you know, it means something completely different to everybody who uses it. You know, it can be a classroom type of setting, a group workshop. It could be one-on-one financial coaching that people call financial education. It can be as simple as a pamphlet. I was at a meeting recently of this group, I won't name who it is, in Washington, that invited groups from throughout the country, flew them in to Washington to present their financial education program that they were really excited about. They'd spent years developing, and they wanted feedback. And it was a pamphlet. And it was this one pamphlet, like a trifold. And, you know, there was a whole approach in terms of how they were going to get this information out and so forth that was different. But they kept talking about their curriculum, and I was like, am I missing something? No, it was a pamphlet. And so that was their financial education course. Other courses are tomes, right? Like 9, 10-week sessions where you go from budgeting to bank accounts all the way to investing. So it can mean a lot of different things to people. There's lots of exciting, I think, interesting new approaches to getting this information out. I think people have gotten a lot more creative in the past few years. And they're not just, you know, putting up a sign saying, come to a banking workshop, and then wondering why only 5 people show up. But now they're integrating it more into other programs that people are doing with low-income populations and underbanked populations. There's peer-to-peer training that's happening, so you're training people from the community in these topics so they can more naturally and organically teach others in their communities about it. There's even transnational financial education happening. This is kind of a growing area where groups that work with immigrants here in the U.S. Are working with that population to find cheap ways to send money home, open bank accounts or credit union accounts on this side, and then also connecting with groups on the other side that are working with the families in the home countries to figure out how's you know, what are the different ways you can create a household budget and really use that money effectively that's coming from the migrant worker in your family. So there's a whole bunch of stuff we can talk about. I'm going to stop there and start by turning it over to our panel. We're going to talk until about 7:30 or so, maybe a couple minutes longer, and then try to have at least 20 minutes to half hour for questions, discussion, and so forth. But everyone's good? You want to be here? It's the right workshop? Okay. So let me just start. I'm going to turn to Kathy Mann from the Office of Financial Empowerment. And